What? Okay. Start. Uh, start. Okay. And we are supposedly working already. Yeah. Uh, Easy, I guess. So, anyways, it is indeed a little bit hard to speak, but at the very same time, I don't think there is anything really worth observing or worth saying. In that sense, I was just sick. I can excuse myself behind that. Uh, I was a little bit sick, yeah. So, anyways, we are quote unquote back, I guess. And yeah, also, it is going to be quite hard to speak. But anyways, it isn't that bad after all. Or it shouldn't be. I don't know at this point anymore. I I can't even keep up consistently always every single day talking. Not at the least, not right now, I guess. I did still trying to get back to my proper form, so that means I can't really speak that much, I fear. I reckon so I can't I can't do it like I used to do before, where I never shut up. But I don't know, I guess at the very least I have the pleasure of saying that we are here. Even if I am a little bit late, we are here back again. And to a certain extent, that feels already better than anything else. That is indeed better than anything else. I mean, I don't know. To some degree, you wouldn't really expect to find out that you are going to be enjoying so much what you can do, and you can be using those opportunities that are given to you, let's say, in that very same form as we do here. So, yeah, it feels nice to be, at the very least, today here. So, even if I can't give it my all because of conditions, we will see what happens. I mean, as always, I do have stuff that I want to say and whatnot, so in that sense, to that level, it seems interesting. I feel like I reckon I always loved that side of it is almost like a never-ending adventure, you know? The opportunity to say whatever you want, and the chance itself that is presented to you, where you can truly go for whatever you want to do without ever paying attention to what everything else is. But I It's at least today. It just takes some time to even try to decipher where to go from some place. So yeah, we will see. We will simply see. Uh, I guess yeah. Also, it should be quite obvious, but I'm still trying to heal, so I will need to take a break from time to time. I mean, I will have to say it afterwards also, and I will say it with a better intent or something like that, but it will be necessary for me to not speak as fast or anything like that. I guess. I mean, that is also the funny side that I can't really. It always feels weird. I want to be real, it always feels weird that side of I need to repeat something 20 times in a row. I need to constantly drill into somebody else's mind the messages and whatever. It never stops feeling weird. I mean, at least in myself, I hate when I that somebody's trying to do that with me, so I don't understand why it will be a necessity to do that with somebody else. But I don't know if it is for the sake of appearances or what, but there is some kind of excuse that allows today to say, yeah, you know, I need to clarify that even if I am feeling sick, I, I will obviously be taking some time to deal with that. Way, it should be expected that one thing happens, no matter what, because after all, it is part of properly healing. That I usually take 1 or 2 seconds to deal with the sickness itself, I guess, but I don't know. I don't really know. Anyways, I guess just in time to properly begin. Uh, it isn't even really that annoying or anything like that, but uh, so what's up? Is this thing working? Yeah, it should be working. Anyways, transition. Wow, almost like half a minute late. I don't really know how much I can go. I can already feel my throat's a little bit weird. But anyways, as always, nice to be here. Uh, a pleasure to be back. I guess I didn't expect you to take that much of a break, but I guess if the conditions end up being like that, I must certainly take some time in order to properly come back. I guess I wouldn't say it that way, but I wasn't really fully capable of being back, let's say. So yeah, uh, reasons I guess to not have the possibility of being back, and reasons to not truly even begin to take the chance of being back at all, I guess. It never, it never is truly important in that sense. I don't know. I, I certainly don't know to some degree. I, I even feel like some days people worry too much, yeah. But the point is, we are here. Ah, everything is fine. At the very least, until we stop being here. So it's that I am happy. Ah, we have the possibility of continuing whatever we left unattended last time. And as always, it is also the chance of continuing with the proper discussion of things and all of that. The proper opportunity to keep considering and keep observing what seems so interesting as always, because that is part of the nature of being here, that you can find anything interesting, anything worth observing, I guess. And it does indeed have some degree of interest that cannot be always learned from. Uh, that is basically what happens today, as with every other occasion that we have to be here. That there might be something worth trying of. Yeah, trying of. How do you even say it? Worth of being observed, I guess. Worth of trying to observe. I don't know, something like that. And it always is a wonderful thing to have that opportunity. I mean, I never know where to truly start. I always feel like it is a hard thing, or at the very least, when I am thinking, when I am picturing it in my mind, it feels like a little bit of an impossible thing to decide where to be with, and I feel like certainly this is not the exception to a certain degree, but at the very same time, things are not that complicated, and nothing is really that impossible to deal with to some degree. And today is simply that, even if things are not going in the best of the directions, even if everything is not as expected, I guess, you can say that it was worth it simply because, you can enjoy being here, and simply because you have the opportunity to be, let's say, I mean, to some degree it even feels weird when you hear people talking. I I don't like the feeling of saying on their daily lives like it truly is devoid of all of that, but I find it to be the reality that most people on their on their day to day, don't even consider how much of a beautiful thing it is. The opportunity of being whatever it is it that they are and enjoying whatever it is it that they are doing. And I don't know, I guess as a simple observer, I just enjoy that same thing that everyone else does. The gift of being alive, I guess. The opportunity of doing anything at all that seems to some degree useful or to some degree fulfilling. all of that becomes rather entertaining, and all of that is rather fulfilling, is by itself always, yeah, it's always something worth, worth of observing or worth of trying to consider. And I don't know, to some degree it always is the main problem also. That the notion of you observe other people and you realize they are not there anymore. They don't have anymore that light, that shine inside of them. They don't have that wish, those dreams that they used to have, those hopes, and one continues after all. It is the necessary thing always to continue after all, but it feels, at some point, it begins to feel weird to see how everyone else is struggling so much and see how much everyone else is indeed not capable of fulfilling what they say they wish to accomplish so much. Uh, that very same sense, it ends up being uh, a strange realization, I guess. The one of out of nowhere, everybody is in a worse position but me. I'm quite happy. Everybody around me is quite happy. Uh, the rest of the world seems to be such a panic. The rest of the world seems to not be capable of finding anything interesting at all. That is the worst part of this, that even today, after not having been here for so long, I can say there are more than enough reasons to be here. There are more than enough justifiers to say that it is a worth experience being here. It is indeed something interesting to be, and to enjoy being, I guess. And you see in other people how much they can't even, after some days, make sense out of anything else, and certainly justify or excuse, not excuse, I guess, more along the lines of properly give meaning. Certainly, just another way to say justify. What they needed to do, or what they say that they wished to do. And it feels incredibly weird because it isn't even that hard to find something to justify what you wish to do. There are an infinite degree of things to use as your argument, I guess, and people somehow chooses to not even try that, to not even see past beyond the first problems that they had, or the first degree of comfortableness that they feel, and it seems more and more weird the longer you keep going to realize how many people are not even willing to deal with that because it isn't something that can't be dealt with. I will say rather the opposite. It takes quite a lot less energy than expected, even to enjoy being there to enjoy doing what you say you enjoy so much, and to have the pleasure of certainly doing what you wish to do. After all, that is always the biggest concern, I guess. That to some degree you find out the worst of the things that people are abandoning what they wish to do so much. But I don't know, I don't understand it fully. I haven't always tried to make sense out of that. I guess since I started here, it has been my main objective, my main desire to be capable of fully understanding why why is it that some people abandon so much what they say they wish to accomplish. And to some degree, I don't say it because I live in a world of fantasy or something like that. I remember at some point I heard that one. I don't think it was a saying. It was something along the lines of certainly when you were a child, it was wild to see or to hear about people who took their lives and people who decided to, when you saw it in the news, people who decided to self. I, I am not reading anything. I'm just, I'm just speaking. I am. No, yeah, yeah, yeah. I get it. I get it. I, I am just, I'm just trying trying to speak without hurting myself too much. And don't worry, I am also healing, I guess. I I have been trying to heal, and I guess it has been working after all. I At the very least I don't have a fever anymore. I had quite a huge amount of fever the other day. I even had some uh, how do you say that thing where you, because of the amount of fever that you have, you end up uh, having like not fantasies, delusions, or something like that, feverish stuff. But that, yeah, today I am fine, I guess. I It isn't that bad anymore. I am almost fully healed, almost. But yeah. Anyways, welcome, and I hope you're fine, Clamp. I hope you're fine. But yeah, I was saying, I was about. Okay, 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 okay. I remember I was searching for this one word because I heard about it. This thing of when you're a child, you hear on the TV, on other places, why it is that people in any way find it a necessity to, as they say on the news, self-determinate themselves, and those softer terms used to not truly convey what is what they truly did. And when you were a child, when we were younger, everybody thought that it made no sense after all. But life slowly teaches you that certainly it is quite understandable, not a path that everybody is willing to take, I guess, but something that makes sense, and something that can be to some degree capable of being understood, that you can see why somebody will take that decision, let's say, and why somebody will choose to be. or to go that way instead of living in a neutral manner. And with enough time, I also discovered that it was normal on me too to have those type of observations. After all, it is always that side of oneself, that shadow, let's say, that always lurks, but that is also what is so weird, that sometimes people gives up so easily because you find out how little energy it takes to ignore those type of ideas, those types of observations, those sides, those things in general. I would even say that it takes a lot less energy than everything else to ignore or to avoid continuing on that path of complete void as always. And it is always the struggle of why is it so easy sometimes for me, for oneself to continue? Why is it the possibility of having so much enjoyment always open to oneself, and why can I personally have such a good time but the rest seems to struggle so much? What is it that I am doing that I can't convey to others? What is it that goes on here? Even right now, I will say that isn't present in the life of others, that I haven't yet been capable of explaining, been capable of properly putting into words, so that other people can get that idea. That is always the main problem, the main, the main annoyance, the main situation that always takes me quite badly. That has been certainly something, that has been certainly a notion that is, I wouldn't say haunting, because it will imply that it is negative. It is just like a question that, if properly answered, would probably lead to a better conclusion than everything else. But so far it hasn't had a proper response, I feel like, and sadly, I don't think I will give it one that will be satisfying enough, at least for now. I I guess I will continue observing, and I guess I will continue trying to find something that makes sense out of that. But as of right now, it still is something fully incomprehensible, sadly, and I have no capacity to deal with that in any comprehensive manner. That is the worst part of this, because once again, and that is what is the worst side of this, you see it being such a problem on everyone else. You see it being such a detriment on the life of others that at some point you wonder, why do I have it? What did I do to personally gain that privilege, let's say? And it isn't about relinquishing what one has. Certainly, it isn't justified to give up on the opportunity of being alive, I guess. But it is still a weird thing to see that you can't explain to others what makes it worth it. Anything in general, and suddenly, even if you believe you can do it deep inside of your heart, as they will say, you realize it is quite meaningless to try it. People don't people don't hear what they don't want to. And this applies to every level of the matter. no matter how serious you are, no matter how true to the reality you are, people don't want to listen, and when they don't want to listen, what you say makes no sense. Also, good, good evening, Sarah. Welcome. I I am here finally after almost a week or probably a whole week. I guess it has been. I really don't have an excuse besides the last 1 or 2 days. But yeah, here we are. At least today, here we are, enjoying whatever it is that we do here. That might that might be of I don't even know how to classify it. I don't even see it as something different. But that is also the weird thing that I don't I never understand people when they say, "Oh yeah, this is such a different thing." In this case, in the present, it feels weird when you hear somebody say, "Yeah, this is something so unique." No, it isn't. There is nothing particularly different from this. It can always happen. You can always invite the opportunity of enjoying talking, enjoying the conversations that you can have, truly talking about what you think, and truly being the discussion of what you truly wish to discuss. Those things are not so well appreciated, I guess. And that is why sometimes it can be said that here it happens more than on other places, but it certainly isn't anything particularly distinct, I guess. It simply is. We are simply here, and it simply is a conversation about things that somebody is thinking about, and a discussion of the topics that people want to discuss. I mean, that is always also the interesting side that you can go on and you feel like something doesn't make sense. You can always oppose what is being said, and you can always discuss what is being given as an opinion, because that is the main function of having a conversation. And sometimes it does feel quite. I don't want to use annoying, because being annoyed will mean that it really is something that I wish to fully avoid. It is along the lines of it simply tiresome to see that people can't even think about the opportunity of talking as something worth it. At some point, everybody realizes it simply is a lie. I at the very least, I tell that to myself. I guess certainly I I don't consider that as the complete truth, but it will be quite sad if people truly believe that with their whole self, that there is no meaning in discussing anything, because there is nothing more, to some degree, there is nothing more beautiful than discussing stuff. There is nothing better than having the possibility of talking about stuff. And also, welcome to you too, Crispin. I hope you're doing well. Thank you. And yes, so far it has been quite a nice start. It had some degree of friction, but here we are. Here we are. I also I also wish you a nice day. But yeah, it always seems weird. I I don't know. I always had that internal struggle, I guess, of hearing people say that it is completely meaningless to talk about things that discussing and trying to have those conversations is of no use at all. I think I am not not simply tired. It goes a little bit beyond that. It is more like it becomes fully horrible to see that people truly don't believe anymore in the capacity of what speaking can be or can become to some degree. What is the usage of that? I mean, I am still amazed by how little of an effort it takes to see that people somehow has decided nowadays to truly speak less, to be there less for others, that to some degree, as I said before, it makes sense to hear some propositions like, oh yeah, why would anybody take the shortest route, let's say? It makes sense. It fully makes sense. If you have lived any amount of real life experience, you understand why people take that route. You don't need an explanation. But the problem is why nobody tries to fix that, and I don't know. I hate also dealing with the fact of there is always this detachment from responsibility. This I don't need to deal with the problems that happen to everybody because they happen to everybody. Therefore, somebody else might as well take care of that, you know. And it always is weird to observe so many people having so many troubles with so much. Not because there is no solution, but rather because of the opposite, certainly. Because there are so many ways in which you can solve what happens to you, what happens to those who are around you, that even trying to give them the opportunity of understanding what is happening, understanding what could be the solution to their problems is already fulfilling and is already a way out. And I, that very same line, I guess, I, the points, let me see, there is no rhythm that I miss, right? Okay, no, there is no rhythm that I missed at the very least. But, anyways, I got scared. For a second, I really got scared, anyways. Sorry. As I was saying, and, that detachment from what can be done and what can be truly a usefulness, it seems always weird to find out that people is so against the responsibilities that are in life and all of that. I mean, once again, the proper term, I guess, is tiresome, not annoying, because it is always interesting to try and understand what is the point of discussing with these people and what is the point of trying to show them that it has any kind of value. But it is tiresome to hear somebody say yet again, oh yeah, that there is no usage in any kind of help that can be found in the outside. There is no usage in asking for help to be with in it can always be taken to any kind of place in other people in being in a community in a kind of degree. And obviously, as somebody who should be concerned with mental health, the worst kind of thing is to hear somebody say, no, yeah, there is no usage in therapy or there is no usage in any kind of mental health institution. Certainly it is quite sad to hear somebody give up so easily, and certainly it is quite annoying to see people not even giving it a proper chance, or not even observing truly what can be obtained out of that. Not because it is such an easy thing. No, nothing is really easy. We simply we have efforts and we have results. At some point, we have inserted in our communications the words easy, hard, complex, simple, and not the word simply is. And you make it seem easier, you make it seem hard, but there is no real way in which you can identify anything, let's say, by itself that can truly be called simple or easy, or complex or hard. Every single individual's opportunities completely varies the chances that they have to deal with every single thing. So it is in that realization that you also are confronted with what is easy for you might as well not be easy for anyone else to some degree. So even if implying that it is easy for you makes you truly believe that you have a chance, what truly happens is you might as well have an advantage at something, but it doesn't really mean that it is indeed easy for anyone. Every single thing is hard. Some people simply get accustomed to dealing with what is hard, simply can so so easily deal with what is hard that they get accustomed to those oppositions, those problems, and that is quite wonderful, certainly. But nothing is easy. Nothing has ever been easy, I guess, and that is why what I was trying to say before. It certainly isn't easy to deal with any kind of negative idea. As also, it isn't easy to simply continue hearing that, but what will be the result if not? I don't really understand that. I don't really like that side of, oh yeah, you know what? I would rather keep rotting in my own cage than to solve what haunts me so much. What what is the usage for so much pain? Sometimes what does people gain from that? I I have a lot when I know it by the observation of others because it is that I understand certainly how different people can be and how depressed can somebody get, I guess. That is also the worst part of this because if you say something like that, it sounds like you are crazy. It sounds like you are talking about something that is impossible to fully comprehend, that you can't get from simply watching other people. Also, here I present to you my dogs who have just waken up. But anyways, okay, as I was trying to say, it always feels weird to realize, to watch other people and to see those things. Because when you try it, you find out about those things, and when you give in to the opportunity, you truly find out something that they have inside of them, and something that truly characterizes who they are and what they are feeling. It isn't so hard to learn about others as some would say. It simply is a matter of having patience and having enough dedication to the act, let's say, that you can find out about people and you can figure out what makes them be. And it is in that once again you end up discovering things that do indeed feel weird. Why is it that sometimes people have it so hard, or why is it that sometimes we choose the worst path is still an enigma to me, I guess. I I have made sense of quite a lot of things, and it is quite sad to see still that there are yet so many things to try and make sense of. I guess that is also, to a certain degree, something that I don't even like to discuss with people. Something that I don't even like to think about. That is the worst part of this. I don't even like to think about it because it is tiresome by itself. The realization of, indeed, people have so many problems that learning about all of them is an incredibly impossible task because you can't even supposedly, so far, what is accepted is no matter how much you learn, you can't even give people the proper solution to what they are dealing with. And I don't know. I don't understand it. It isn't even patience, it isn't even love or appreciation that you have for other people when you believe something like that. What is the real point of saying that you care for others when you willingly decide to ignore the chance of giving somebody the tools that they might need to deal with what they are struggling so much? That is certainly the biggest problem. One of those hurdles that I have been dealing with. And that is certainly one of the biggest pushbacks that I have inside of myself. I hate to learn about any area in which I also find it to be the most interesting type of knowledge because, after all, as they will say, it is all meaningless. You can't even give it out because supposedly you're now influencing others and you're changing them and you're robbing them out of the possibility of healing, of the possibility of properly dealing with what it needs to deal. And I don't know, to some degree it always feels weird to have that idea and to sustain it even more in time. It always is quite strange to accept that you should give up before you even begin with your efforts. What you know, even if it can be useful, shouldn't be used because reasons. I don't really know it. But yeah, I guess I guess the human nature is always interesting to contemplate, to be a part of, I guess. But at the very same time, it gets quite hard to properly feel like it is useful to be immersed in that to a complete degree. Not because there isn't anything good, but rather because there are so many easy ways to solve things that ignoring those ways in which things can get done is the proper torture. I mean, I don't know. This isn't that the solution? Often, I mean, yeah, kind of. Certainly, let's say like this, the solution itself, the steps that you need to take in order to solve whether your problems are never that easy on one hand because they take quite a lot of effort, but on the very same hand, just to get to know about what can be the solution, and just to learn about what can help you if you are not even aware of what is your problem, makes it quite a lot easier. And to some degree, it also is, after having talked with so many people, a realization that you have is if you don't give them any kind of expectation, or at the very least, any kind of negative expectation, people are quite capable. And they are quite surprisingly capable, even. It is always nice to see somebody who survived what I could probably haven't survived. I could have probably been capable of pulling myself together if it was me who went through those experiences. And for them it was easy, you know. For me also, it always happens to some degree. You can always see how some things that you deal with are, let's say, easy for you. That some have already said even that is quite impossible to deal with for them. And it happens in any degree. It isn't necessarily only constrained to here, to problems. It also is even the side of, oh yeah, you have skills in one area, therefore you can do it easily, this one thing. And you don't really feel like it is easy or like it is truly that hard. And I don't know. It always gets into a complex position, let's say, to see that once again, go back to what I said before, giving out people the possibility of even knowing about what might be a way towards the solution of their problems ends up being classified as something negative, as something manipulative. What? Nah. It is those tiny notions that I don't get. Still, I have figured out quite a lot of things from what I have learned, yeah, but that is still the main concern, I guess. The main problem that I am still trying to deal with, in that sense. Why shouldn't the one who has so much knowledge use that in order to help others completely? Always. That is the main incident they will classify it as. Why shouldn't you, if you have the opportunity of helping, do that exactly? And I don't know. some degree. I kind of understand it. I always think about it in terms of childs and such. It is always the best thing to picture it with infants because you can understand it from that perspective the best. You don't need to throw out your children out of the opportunity of solving the problems that they have. You end up negating them from the pleasure of solving what they need to deal with, and you end up not even giving them the possibility of discovering what they can truly do. That is why it is necessary to not allow people to be so influential over others, yeah, but it seems like at some point it ends up becoming like an excuse or something like that. A reason to not even try to act, to not even try to give others the opportunity of finding out what might be a solution once again. And that is what feels so bad because I, I, I have already my life, I have already what is my own set of worries. I am not going to, in order to get you to solve what you are dealing with, abandon all my responsibilities. I am not like that. I have never been like that. But I will certainly love to give to everybody the opportunity of minimally discovering what can possibly become a solution for what they are dealing with. And even that is bad. Even that idea is negative. And even that side of trying to help others is nowadays bad. Something that is harmful, like to some degree, I guess. It became like I don't want to even discuss that because it feels bad, but I think the reality is it certainly is more like an industry than a real practice, a really helpful tool. It is more like an industry of I am going to do my minimal efforts in order to somewhat aid you in what you're dealing with. And if that somehow helps you, I am going to benefit from that. And after that, I will never influence you anymore. And when you need me, you come back to me. Or when you find a usefulness in that, I am also going to get, once again, monetary benefit. I I don't like that side of things. People are always talks about passions and whatnot. And it certainly should come even that side of helping others from that very same perspective. I mean, I should be saying that. I should be having the need to clarify anything like that. It should be an immediate thought that everybody can have by themselves. That if you wish to help somebody, it should be because you feel motivated towards doing it, not because you're searching for any other thing, or not because you're looking for a reward or for a possible secondary thing that might come after what you have done. It makes no sense at all, certainly, but it is still accepted that people don't even talk about those things. That we live in a world in which it is even weird to think about those perspectives and such. And I don't know. As always, it is quite a sad realization to have to find out how little some people are truly being helped, and how little they need. That is always the yeah. I haven't. If there is something that has so far been quite harmful, has been that one discovery of how little some people need any kind of motivation towards doing what they have to deal with. That is always the worst part of being here, I guess. That you discover how easy it is for everybody to begin. Not because one doesn't want to deal with that. It is always quite a wonderful thing to be capable of hearing somebody say that they did anything because of what gets said, let's say. But it really is that hard for other people to even try to give out those ideas, those words. Once again, there is nothing different here happening from anywhere else. I am pretty sure you can hear a very similar speech happening right now, even on the stream of whoever you wish to choose. Or at the very least, even if it isn't happening right in this moment, you can get it to start and you can make it begin if you give them the proper tools to understand that you have an interest on hearing what they have to say about say the things. But I don't know. It always is not just an incognito, it is more like a situation that I can hardly ever make sense of. Just because of that it is quite a reasonable thing, let's say, to discover how little it takes and how much can be accomplished, I guess, but is it really that hard for everyone else? I don't think it should be really classified as that, even if we believe that it might indeed be. It never does any kind of help to anybody to say that things are so impossible to deal with. I I would even say there is no need for such a negative speech, for such a negative pattern of communication in which out of nowhere every single thing that you deal with in your life is so hard and all the problems that everybody has are so incredibly huge that it makes sense to not be capable of dealing with them because certainly nobody will be capable of solving what happens, and I don't know, I always hate that side. I always fully despise when somebody says, yeah, things are bad. No, things are never bad. It is always a wonderful thing to have to have the chance of being, I guess. That is what's truly wonderful. That is what's always the ever giving present, I would say. But yeah, I truly don't know. Sometimes it feels weird. It always feels weird after all. Reality is quite weird, no? It is quite expected that the reality in which we live is quite strange. That we have so many things that can be classified as crazy. That we have so many problems that can be easily dealt with, but at the very same time, nobody wishes to truly abandon those negative sides. That we have so many hurdles and so many troubles and there's so many risk factors that happen in our lives that we can't ever truly solve. But at the very same time, it is those opportunities, those instances that make up what we are. I I like hearing people talk about how the problems that they had also ended up getting them to where they are because it seems weird to hear out of nowhere that you are going to neglect everything that happened to you that was negative. Certainly, even if it seems appealing, I guess, it was quite an important thing to go through what everybody went through, what you went through, because it is in there that you find out how valuable it was, how necessary even it was to experience those things. But out of nowhere, it ends up going back to the side of you shouldn't care too much, you shouldn't influence too much, yet at the same time, we don't even let people experience that pain, that level of discomfort in life. What is the consciousness about those things? Like you say that you shouldn't be influencing so much other people, but what you're robbing them out of is what gave you the character that you have nowadays. And I try to avoid too many intimate things because it tries to be simply a speech about things in general, not something that can only be portrayed with one particular example. But I would be lying if I didn't say it is one of the worst feelings to see or to have when you see somebody losing out the possibility of what is having a child. Because, yeah, I guess it goes in line with what we're talking nowadays, that you find out of nowhere, as it happened in my case, that somebody close to you had a child, and somebody who you considered a potentially good parent ended up choosing to rob that child out of the possibility of truly developing in a sensible manner, let's say, just because you wish to not make them, not even let them have any problem at all. There is always this concept of the worrying motor. In this case, it will be the worrying father. But it's so weird. You talk about potential, but at the same time, people is so capable of truly using that in a sensible way. This whole discussion of what can be that anybody becomes is to a certain degree quite meaningless, I will say, when you ignore the necessary facts of what are just other things. What is life outside of this one aspect in which, wow, you as an individual might be quite formidable, let's say, perfect, completely perfect, but everything else is rather lacking. What is the usefulness of being, as they will say nowadays, a one-trick pony? What do you gain from that? Not because it doesn't mean anything to be capable of calling yourself good on one side. That is always nice. I would even say that is quite unnecessary. That you should be capable of being good in at the very least one thing, but neglecting every other thing in order to be good at just one side of your life isn't really a tool that you're going to make use of, let's say. I never liked that. I never understood that idea. But I don't know, it's so hard sometimes to even speak out those things. That is indeed something complex to consider, if I had to be real, because at the very same time you say something like that and people already begins to think that you shouldn't even try to be unique in any way, that you shouldn't try to pursue anything interesting, that you shouldn't even believe in what you can be capable of becoming, that you might as well not be who can truly achieve what you wish to achieve. That isn't even part of what I'm talking about, but somehow it appears in the minds of those who are listening. It appears in the mind of whoever is interpreting these words that out of nowhere it might be a negative speech. No, 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 no. It simply is a don't overdo it on one side. Nothing else. Literally nothing else. But I don't know, it always is a problem that happens and nothing else, I guess. But yeah. Anyways, I guess after so long, I will finally need a second or two. So yeah, give me a second. Thank you. Anyways, I'm back. I I blew my nose and it happened that thing where it alters one of your earlobe, not earlobes, your ears, where you feel a pop, basically. But yeah, Oh my god, yeah, I am hearing quite differently. Anyways, back to the point. Sorry. I was saying something along the lines of that was strange to see people feeling so motivated out those things and so seeing themselves as so incapable also. But I guess that is part of the problem. That is part of the hurdle that you discover out of nowhere. How I said it before, how little fun encouragement somebody needs to be willing to take the risk to put so much in line in order to not even prove, because I am not asking about proofs, I am simply saying that people is capable of doing something. And in order with that, it's also that you learn how much of a constant thing it is to hear negative, completely negative stuff. How common it is to even accept that in your daily life, I guess. The always happening side of, yeah, that things will never get better and there will never happen anything good, and nobody will ever appreciate what you're trying to do, and nothing will ever come out of the efforts that you put into anything, and no matter how hard you try, there will be nothing that can truly be classified as useful or not of your efforts, and all of those things that are so incredibly easy to say yet again because they had already been said a million times, and everybody has already listened to those things a million times. And once again, out of nowhere, when something minimally similar to that appears in life, you truly believe that it is also part of what is happening to you. It is like you always hear about this concept of people getting to some degree, let's say, trained to feel a certain way, to feel yet again a certain type of emotion once they have already felt that one way before, very similar to this clicker training that was shown in dogs, but with a lot more time and patience in humans. And it feels always strange to see how common it is to have this type of speeches happening, and how common it is to not even fight back. And the best thing is always how little of an effort it takes to destroy that negativity. I guess I always think about that lately, how hard to some extent it is to deal with those things. After all, nobody really wishes to solve so out of nowhere their whole life. I mean, it is quite terrifying, being honest. The idea of tomorrow I might wake up and I might have every single one of my problems solved. To some extent, there are always excuses that one has for not acting a certain way, for not dealing with a certain thing, for not being capable of solving a certain side. And it is always interesting to have that, let's say, the the back of your mind sounding, let's say, in the back of your consciousness, I will say, resounding in order to keep you keep you going, let's say. And it is always a wonderful thing to hear that. And it is always a wonderful thing to justify everything else with that excuse. But man, it always is also kind of weird to realize that out of nowhere, nobody truly wishes to accomplish anything. There is no true meaning to what happens. There are no useful sides to what can be done, and there are no interesting facts, let's say, to what are the efforts that somebody puts in life, and all of those things. That it becomes almost a habit to think in those lines. And it is always. That is something at the very least that everybody supposedly understands, that breaking out of a habit is quite a hard task. That certainly being capable of recognizing what happened to you, and even more if it is negative, what is limiting you, and how to change that, how to do those things is incredibly complex. But at the same time, at the very same time, simply the possibilities that open up when somebody is willing to take those risks. That is the wonderful thing, I guess. That you can see somebody become better. That you can see how much of a usefulness can happen if you try to do something worth it. That you can discover how wonderful life can get if you decide to hope a little bit instead of being so negative about every single thing that happens in existence, let's say. All of those things are always a wonderful thing, but they don't really happen that much anymore, and they don't really get talked about again. I said it before already, that suddenly this type of conversation is considered something weird, something out of the ordinary, when in reality you can live every single one of your days considering about your life, considering about every single thing that happens. There is nothing more wonderful than that, I will even say. I truly believe that it is one of the biggest pleasures to have the opportunity of considering life and considering what is and what isn't, and being capable of, I don't know, simply thinking what happens and thinking about what might happen or what might not happen. Yet somehow it is so rare nowadays. And it is even rare because it can't happen. It is rare because somehow it is something that people avoid or something like that. It is rare because people doesn't even want to have it happening anymore. That is what feels so weird. That is always have felt so weird lately. That is what I hate so much. That it even gets classified as something deep or something out of the daily life. What is it that you are gaining if you ignore your nature every single day? That if not even once a week, it is already incredibly dangerous to only do it once a month, once a week, if you can't even stop and think about what happens to you. What is it of your surroundings? What is it that is altering how you act, and what is it that is now becoming so much of an influence of what you are doing? All of those things are completely important to pay attention to. And we somehow say that they don't matter, that they don't really need to be considered necessary or important, that you shouldn't be really worrying about them, that it is understandable to not even pay attention to that it is okay to run away from those ideas, from those once again, gifts. There is nothing more amazing than the capacity of thinking out whatever you wish to, yet somehow it ends up being seen as something bad. Since when it is normal to even accept that, why anybody wishes to believe that it is true? I don't. I don't like that side. I completely hate that side of how things work and how everything ends up being nowadays. But I guess at the very least, because I haven't, I don't know if I have said anything truly positive so far. I must beg you pardon, let's say, because I certainly don't try to only be negative, but it gets quite hard sometimes. So yeah, at the very least, as I was going to say, that there is some hope always. You can see some other people being capable of showing others what is good and breaking out of those conventions and, as they would even say, breaking the mold. uh, and giving yet again something new to this world. There is nothing more wonderful than that, than discovering what can be interesting and what can be useful with enough time. But at the same time, it is kinda weird because there is a certain degree of fear. I wouldn't lie. There is a certain degree of fear in it takes too much time. There are too many people that need some kind of help that are not even close to getting that. And you can't simply resign from the responsibility that is helping those by believing that out of nowhere, out of completely nowhere, breaking every single type of convention that is their daily life, they will look up and they will try to ask for any kind of help out of nowhere once again. Somebody who is completely accustomed to feeling bad, who is completely fine with feeling like there is nothing good or something worth in what can be their lives, will completely, completely out of nowhere decide to change. And that it is even okay if they never decided to change. I I think I think it is quite necessary always to have some degree of hope, no? To have some degree of interest in others, to have some capacity of believing in others. That is why anybody can become quite a formidable being, let's say, once you start to realize that everybody has some degree of potential. And that is why everybody deserves to be helped. Because no matter how much you believe you know somebody, you never truly know how much of a usefulness they can have on the world. If they were to be given the opportunity to fully, truly, brightly shine, let's say, you never know how much of a wonderful thing it can be to observe somebody accomplish what they say they wish for so much, and you will never understand how much of a usefulness they can bring to the rest of humanity if they can finally solve those problems that they are having. And that is why it is necessary to have any form of that belief, of that idea, if you wish to help somebody else. Because certainly, I have said before, it is quite horrible to want to help somebody just because you want some kind of gain. It isn't simply horrible. The worst part is that it is even accepted that you are only going to help because you want some kind of payback, some kind of benefit. But to your life, I am sorry, but it doesn't make any kind of sense when you put it that way. And when you out of nowhere picture things in that manner, but certainly what is wonderful is to see that people have so many ways to be amazing, so many ways to be classified as not simply important. It goes leaps and bounds beyond being important. It is the incomprehensible gift that can bring somebody to existence, that thing that they might as well excel at, that makes them so particularly amazing in order to make them shine, let's say. And it is quite sad to see that people doesn't even get over that thing, doesn't even get properly shown that they can achieve something like that. But once I am sorry, I said I was going to try to be a little bit more positive. At the very least, you see people trying that, and in order with what I was saying before, you never truly know how much of an influence they have already had in the past. I mean, even in the few stories that anybody can remember, that anybody can hold in their minds, you already start to learn how much of an influence people are when they are willing to show others what they know and what they might be capable of. And that is always wonderful. That is certainly a huge pleasure. I think there is nothing even more beautiful than knowing that you did such a good job, let's say, at accomplishing what you dreamed of. That you can be called somebody who properly influenced others, those who might come for the next generations, not because you want the fame, but rather because what you discovered is truly useful. I, to some degree, it will be a lie to say there is no ego. There is always a little bit of ego lurking around, let's say. Or I will even go as far as to, in my case, say, in every single corner, in every kind of thing I say, there is a degree of ego hiding behind every word that might be wishing to shine, that might be wishing to be recognized, but I don't. One tries to not pay so much attention to that because every other thing is more important than that one side and that one idea. And that is where it becomes worth it, where it truly obtains a sense of meaning, where you discover that out of nowhere there is certainly something quite wonderful, quite quite exotic even I will say, discovering what people can be, I guess. But I don't it it all takes energy. And certainly no matter how good somebody is, we have limited amounts of energy in that sense. Sadly, so yeah, it runs out for some faster than for others, but at the very least, one gets to enjoy life, let's say, and doing what they have so much interest on. I guess I sometimes you truly feel like you don't know, but it is part of the process, I guess. You don't really get to fully understand what you do sometimes. It is part of nature. Nobody gets to fully understand what they are trying to do with at the Gardona. And sometimes not even in the moment in which they are done, they get to understand what they have truly done. So yeah, it makes sense that it is still like that, no matter what happens. But yeah, I guess I guess all of what I said. I guess every single kind of thing of what I said. And yeah, I I don't know, sometimes it feels quite hard to properly say anything, but yeah, I am content with what we can say or what we can consider as interesting here. It always is quite problematic though to be talking so much. There is a certain degree of fear of saying along the lines of what I said before and what I will keep saying later on. Something that might be contradictory, but at the same time, one has to hope, that the main message is understood at the very least, even if other things fail. This one main idea gets somehow comprehended and gets somehow through, besides every other kind of obstacle that might happen. But it's weird. It is always weird. It is like a complex task in which the actions that you take might not even have that many predictable results, no matter how much you think they are understandable for other people. So yeah, it is always a surprising thing to see that sometimes people don't get what is going on. Some other times people are not even close to discovering what might really be the meaning, let's say, but I guess that is part of the process. I don't really have an explanation for that one, sadly. This time around, I don't really have an explanation for any of that. At, at some point, I guess you will run out of those things that do indeed explain the world around you. Because not every single thing is so easy to understand, let's say. Because not every single thing is so easy to make sense of, I guess. But yeah, that is that is part of the process. And I guess that is also how I tried to see it before. That is some theory you learn, and to some theory you learn to appreciate mostly how things work and how wonderful it is to have some precious gifts like discovering that out of nowhere what you had been working on so much wasn't truly that way in which you thought it was working. Not because it wasn't truly working, but rather because it was on the opposite hand, going in a completely different direction. But at the same time, it is in your hands the capacity to solve how it is working now. So one might as well try to deal with that instead of completely ignoring what they can deal with. But yeah, I don't know, sometimes. Or I guess most of the time. It is part of being here to not know, to accept that. At the very least, I don't know almost anything. So yeah, it's it's a wonderful thing, I guess. To have I wouldn't say to have no expectations, it is impossible to have none. It is the ideal to have no expectations, it is always the main desire to have none, but it is quite impossible even when you try to say that you have no possible way to predict what might happen. Deep down yourself, you already know that there are things that might go certain ways, there are ideas that might take certain directions that you wish happen in particular ways, in particular directions once again, and do not get the opportunity of seeing that doesn't mean that it is good or that it is bad. You simply just don't get to know what happens most of the time. But yeah, it just happens, and it is just part of this process to to observe while at the very same time being observed by the very same process, I guess. But yeah, I very much guess it is also that wonderful side of being that it's so hard to appreciate properly. Also, I don't even understand how we are still up. I have like right now 5 FPS. This is surprising. I don't even know why my PC is struggling so much lately. I guess my one of the very few reasons I can truly point towards is the subtitles and the captions and all of that, but I don't even know why it is killing it so much. It doesn't really kill the PC later on. It just does that now, so I don't know. I guess we're working with 1 frame per second, but the sound is working at the very least, and there are no dropped frames also, so I'm happy with that, I guess. But yeah, um, it is quite a weird thing that it happens. Yeah, probably. It I am pretty sure it is a memory problem. My CPU is at 46%. I have no idea what is right now killing it. Computing. No, what? The CPU is at 100. The memory? No, the memory is like 62%. No, okay, the problem is the CPU then. And why is that? OBS is consuming the most also. Nice. OBS browser page. Browser? What? Browser page? Why does this thing have 5 browser pages open? What is browser? I shouldn't have anything browser. Oh, no. I have the chat. I have the alerts and nothing else type of browser. I don't know what are the other two details. Yeah, let me check. I don't think it is a virus. I don't really install that many things that are weird, and also it only happens when I have OBS. My PC has been working quite well lately. It only happens when I have OBS open, so I. Okay, no. I think I kind of know what happens here on one hand, but on the other I kind of don't. This is going to be so hard. I will have to fix it later on. I think I know what's the problem. I have 2 different browser sources for the chat and the alerts. I think it is. One is chat and the other is new chat because at some point the older chat that I had decided to stop working. I couldn't add that one source, so I needed to add it yet again from a different alert link. So yeah, I have to fix that and get rid of the other, the non-working one. I just remembered yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. But at the same time, also something quite funny that happens is if I lose focus of OS, it gets even worse. It lags even more. Eh, the process come from what? What do you mean? What file does task manager the process say comes from? What do you mean? Like it says it is from OES, yeah, or like the directory is what you refer. What are you talking about? Or it says it is okay. The proper explanation will be it says it is OES, and inside of OES it says it is a browse file. But let me. Ah no, wait. I just checked. Discovery. The main thing consuming RAM is OES itself running. OES itself. uh, but if it was OES all along, lagging my whole PC, yeah. It is. It is. The problem is AOS. AOS itself. As my wish is, I think it is fine today. I feel like it is fine. I thought I was going to feel worse after talking for so long. I knew I was going to go for long today, but I didn't expect that so far, sorry, I don't feel any kind of bad on my voice, so I am happy with that. I am very happy, but at the very same time, I had kind of been taking it very slowly, I guess, very slowly. Wait, I know what I can do. I can okay. Wait. I can explain. We have this one clock running over here. I can stop that process. I can. That is a script that is always running. Stop. Taran. Now we are frozen in time, sadly. So no more timer. Uh, no more timer. But yeah, there was like a. Let me check. There was like a 4% of difference in the RAM out of nowhere. Yeah, perhaps that was the problem. Perhaps it might be. So yeah. Anyways, there it is. A minimal degree of fix happened. Wow. Out of nowhere, yeah, out of nowhere, it isn't consuming so much. Oh my god, so much CPU. Don't ask me why. It just happens. No, I lied. We're back to 5 FPS. Anyways, I guess people aren't here because of the incredibly exciting gameplay, so I shouldn't be worrying so much. As long as we don't lose audio, we should be fine, I guess. It is so painful though. Anyways, if I stop talking, does it get better, or I am making? No, yeah. If I stop talking, yeah. The problem with the subtitles, I just confirmed. The problem are it did or beautiful captions. The problem is the problem are the captions. I but we had them for so long and they work so fine. I can't. I can't get rid of them. I love them so much. No. This is such a pain. This is such a horrible pain. I we have an image. What if we get rid of this image? Let me see. Are you sure you wish to remove? Yes. Okay, we don't have a GIF in the corner anymore. No more GIFs. Does it change anything? Please don't tell me that it changes that much. It was just one GIF. It shouldn't change that. No, yeah, yeah, it didn't change anything. We are still like, anyways. That is part of the gameplay that we work at like 1 FPS from time to time. That is wonderful. That is the best part of being here. That out of nowhere it doesn't work, I guess, but yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It is quite depressing, but you learn to live with that, I guess. We will see. We might as well try. If we crash, I will have to get rid of the subtitles. If we don't crash, we will just accept that it works like that. We will keep going with 1 FPS from time to time and just deal with it that way, I guess. But yeah, anyways, completely. Anyways, let me drink some water. I got incredibly worried because of that. Also, encoding overloaded. Consider using a lower encoding setting or video resolution. Wow, thank you. Oh yes, I didn't expect that. Yeah, we are lying basically. We are lying too much. This is wonderful. Maybe I have too many chunk files that I should get rid of. I don't know. Let me. I should check my PC more from time to time. I will not negate that. It's a fact. It is completely a fact. Once again. For example, out of nowhere, I have a Overwolf running in the background. Let me close that thing. Thank you. Uh, Perhaps I have some stuff that I shouldn't have running. Perhaps. But no, I should know about them. Uh, no, yeah, I have no idea. It is incredibly annoying. Anyways, completely. Anyways, we will see if it crashes. This is the last day of the subtitles. If it doesn't crash, then we will keep going. Like nothing ever happened, I guess. This is so sad. Well, anyways, completely. Anyways, I almost closed. Oh yes, yeah, it almost crashed. Nice. I This is getting me incredibly stressed. Anyways, I I was trying to talk about something different. Let me talk about something different. Thank you. I don't know. I guess that is kind of a point. That is kind of certainly an interesting point. How little does technology work nowadays? Like, I don't like that one thing. I don't like the fact that out of nowhere we have so many programmed obsolescence, I think it is, or it is something along the lines of programmed obsolescence. So okay, I will check because I don't even remember the proper term. Uh, Also, maybe if I don't run my own stream, I won't be lying that much. Maybe let me close my own stream. Thank you. Maybe, perhaps, it's cool to be planned obsolescence. That's the way it's said. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Crespian. I saw it very late, but yeah, that's what I. That's what it is properly called. Yeah, planned obsolescence. There we have it. The proper term. This one beautiful thing called planned obsolescence is killing me and killing my economy. I guess. I mean, it is quite wonderful to see out of nowhere how many things are failing because of that one thing. Like so much money you need to have to live and to be capable of existing in nowadays world in that same sense. Just because you need to constantly renew what you have, like to some degree, supposedly, impliedly, people do build stuff with the idea in mind of, yeah, you shouldn't need to change things. Basically that. You shouldn't need to change what you have. But there is, I think, like 90% of the industry works around that idea of, yeah, perhaps what you have right now will go bad in some days or in some years, and you will need to buy a new one. And if you didn't know the fact that this PC was like 8 years old, you wouldn't think it is the case for that. But once you get aware of that fact, out of nowhere it clicks in your mind that, yeah, perhaps the objective is time to finally change PC. It's every single component, because it decayed out of nowhere. Or not even out of nowhere, I mean, the best part of that is that you find out of, not out of nowhere also, you find out with enough research how even the updates themselves that the software gets makes it work slower. Okay, I guess it gets more and more consuming of every kind of resource that it had. I like it. Yeah, the main thing I always will remember was that observation of how Windows 7 was like the worst one. It out of nowhere got a patch in where almost every single performance on all the machines dropped like 10% just because they patched how the system operated and they made it literally intentionally worse. That is always a wonderful thing that you will get robbed out of what you use your money for, and you are going to be obliged to get something new. And I don't know, to some degree, it is quite horrible. Certainly, in my case, for example, if tomorrow, if exactly tomorrow, no, if someday in the future, if exactly tomorrow, or even today, my PC were to break, I don't have money to buy a new one. I love everyone, but I don't have that much money to buy a new one. I will probably be PC-less, as they will say, uh, for quite a while because I don't have money, and I am sorry. And that is a fact. I will have the possibility of getting something like this even less. And probably that is the best part of making people buy new stuff out of nowhere, as it happens with phones and such. I will get something completely cheap instead of something that works properly like it should. But I don't know. I guess I I can at the very least not worry that for the next year or so it will break. At the very least, I guess. But yeah, it is quite tiresome. But anyways, I guess completely. Anyways, it is quite a sad thing to see how how much of a culture there is for that thing, how much of an acceptance there is for that. Like I know, like 5 or 10 years ago, it was a completely mysterious concept. Out of nowhere, you go out and you ask people about planned obsolescence, and probably 1 in 3 people know about it. 30% of the population understands about a concept that is literally aimed towards the detriment of the consumer. What? And you even accept that? It seems fine to accept something like that? I guess. Okay. At the very least, there are still ways in which you can get older things. At the very least. I mean, I have my lamp that is from like I don't even know when this is from, probably like the 90s, and it works wonderfully. There, obviously, it has its own caveat, as they will say. It consumes a little bit more energy than what is necessary for just a lamp, but it works. And the light that it has, at the very least, works. It hasn't stopped working in the past 20 years, and it probably won't stop working in the next 20 years also, so I am happy with that, and I prefer things that way. I mean, that is kind of the point of making something good enough that people won't need to buy a new one. I don't get the point of, for example, cars. Why would you buy a car if it is going to break it down? I wouldn't make the investment of buying a car if I knew that it was going to break it down later on. I would never even try to have a car if I knew that it was going to break it down. It seems quite pointless to make so many investments and such in those things when you're aware of how much they are going to cost you in the future. But I don't know. It with enough time, I think. Uh, the Amish are right sometimes. If your community cannot create and maintain it, you might be better without it. Kind of, yes. To a certain degree, it is very true that you shouldn't maintain something that is so useless or so impossible to create. Like, I don't know. I guess a proper example would be like a smartphone, or at the very least, one of the latest smartphones, at the very least, those who are foldable, for example. Something like that is quite unnecessary, yeah, on one hand, because on the other, there are things that need to be created by something else than a community, or something be, beyond the community. Like, for example, certainly, uh, I think they are called diamond scalpel, something like that. That is used in surgery. You can create that by hand. You certainly need machines to create something like that, and it is still surprisingly useful. But I mean, the real problem I think is that the culture of people needing so much money. Once again, there was already, and everybody can always search that information of you don't need to have billions of dollars in your bank. You after a or beyond a threshold, your life quality doesn't increase anymore. Because what you get with money is just the degrees of misery that you experience. You don't become happier. Money doesn't make you happier, it simply makes you less miserable. It allows you to not to deal with so many of the problems that happen, but it doesn't make you happy. So it makes no sense that out of nowhere it is even accepted or pursued for everybody to, oh yeah, I need to make $1,000 every single day. I need to be the most money driven human being. And I mean, it is quite a wonderful thing even to observe how much of a natural process it has become to talk about those things and how much of a natural thing it is to accept that. But I don't know. I am simply a cog in the ensign, in the whole ensign. So yeah, am I French? No, I'm not French. I'm Argentinian. Uh, also high yeah. But no. I am simply an Argentinian guy. I don't think that was the question, but no, also, I don't speak that much French. Why? Perhaps because French people also have a very similar accent, and I think yeah, we have quite a similar accent from those who are from France and all of that. It is understandable, you know? Uh, it is completely understandable, I would say. But yeah, uh, this is so sad. We will have to say goodbye to the subtitles later on. This is so fucking sad. I hate it. But yeah. Oh. Yeah. I mean, the French have the R that is more cultural, more of a cultural sound when they roll their R's. And here we roll them with the front of the tongue. Yeah. Uh, I think it is like they 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 do their pronunciated R's with the back of the tongue. So that is when they do it in the back of the ballad, it is a completely different way of saying those R's even. So that is why it is quite different. But yeah, um, besides that, I mean, I don't expect every single human being to be capable of instantly recognizing which accent some people have. I mean, I certainly don't even have that capacity myself, so it makes sense to not say out of nowhere, what? You couldn't guess I was Argentinian? Pero ¿qué te pasa? No, I don't need to say that. I don't need to act that way. I literally understand that when people don't even get what I am talking about or what I am trying to say because of the accent. So fully understandable. Yeah. It is a Latin language. Yeah. So there are quite a lot of similarities. Besides the differences, I mean, there are more similarities than differences to the with. So yeah. Although French in particular has like two or three weird things like those with accents and such. So yeah, um, French in particular is weird. Uh, I want to say it so much, but I will refrain from saying the very common thing of hate towards France. Anyways, I don't know. I'm so sad. Not as good as Portuguese. Kind of, yeah. I mean, Portuguese is better to a certain extent than French for me in particular because it is easier to understand than French. I mean, if you write in Portuguese, I will probably get a lot of what you say, and in comparison to French, I don't get like half of what they are talking about because they use those weird ox and all of those terminations. In, in French, Portuguese is a lot easier to get, and a lot simpler to make sense of. There are more commonalities between Portuguese and Spanish, so yeah, it is. No, wait. You said not as bad. Oh my god. Sorry. I forgot that I had that one emote. Certainly. Ah, no. Uh, I completely made the opposite point. I guess. Also, hi. Um, Welcome, Danaos. Good day or good night. Um, this is definitely a Spanish accent. Yeah, 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 yeah. Um, todo bien, todo muy bien. Um, but yeah, yeah. Um, basically that I guess that was the whole point of discussing stuff. What? Are you from Spain proper? Proper? What? Proper? Eh, oh, no, no, no. What? Certainly, no, no, no. I am not from Spain proper. I am from Latin America. Yeah. Uh, I I didn't mean to make fun of you. Sorry. Sorry if it felt that way. I was just shocked by the sentence. I am simply a guy. Uh, yeah. It happens. Okay. Long, quick, quick rundown. Uh, I am from Argentina. In Argentina, the way in which um, English is taught is through the British pronunciation and all of that. So you have quite a lot of learnings from that, not from the normal. What do you mean Spain proper? What? 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 What does that? What does that Spain proper mean? I, yes, I guess. Uh, I guess I don't know. I, you, I Argentina is like a part of Spain, and Italy supplanted the American. What? I knew that a deep level of theories, but yeah, if you say so, I agree with your opinion. I guess I don't know. Yes, I suppose I completely suppose. Also, I never thought I could add the. Sorry, it has nothing to do with what you said, but I could add the emotes to every single country. Is your name Xavier? No, it isn't Xavier. savvy. It isn't savvy. It is more like a. I think my name is something less Spanish. I think we try to think about it. Yeah, yeah. It isn't Spanish for at all. It is more like a common, or from Spain, let's say. It is more like a common Spanish in general name, you know. So yeah, uh, we are not that much of a. No, it's still Alfonso is still very Spanish, my brother. Eh, eh, Pelagio, correcto, Pelagio, particularly Pelagio, exactly Pelagio. The most common American name here, Pelagio. Yes, exactly that one. My name is Pelagio. Yeah. Um, no, uh, I mean, there are probably too many names. You're not going to get it. And I am not going to give you any more clues. After, after all, it is kind of the point. Uh, you're annoying? No, I don't mean it as that you shouldn't try. You can try, but probably I'm not going to tell you uh, if you guess it. But certainly you haven't guessed it so far at the very least. So don't worry. Don't worry at all in that sense. Also, almost. I think I need to take my medication. I didn't check. What time is it? Can somebody tell me the hour? Okay, yeah. Uh, I I think to I think it is time for me to take my pills. Do not have a fever yet again. I Somebody got potato fied. What? Who was it? And why was there no sound? What is going on? Ah, it was the mouse. Thank you for the follow. Um, Trying to think nicknames of Spanish history, but most of the kings were Alfonsos. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it, I think there is no Spanish king with a name with my name. Sorry, I think it isn't. It isn't. No, 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 no. But yeah. Anyways, let me take my meds. Yeah. So I don't want to make it sound bad, but we have now medications in those tiny um, flasks that you use in North America that people use there. We used to have them just in those other things, other containers, what you take one out at a time. But now we have, I don't even know what is the translation. Paracetamol. I am, yeah. No, I not okay. Whole explanation. I am not a certified psychologist. Do not believe me, please. Every kind of thing that I say is wrong. I am just a student. With that out of the way, yeah. I am a psychologist. I am just somebody who is interested in the studies of the mind. Yeah. Oh, certainly studying psychology. No, I will not be. I think you don't have philosophy at any degree in sorry, you don't have psychology at any degree in philosophy. I am studying psychology. Yeah. Um, But yeah, um, the part of philosophy is because somehow I didn't think about it before. It happens that out of nowhere when you talk about psychology, people believes you're talking about philosophy. It shouldn't be that deep. Like you simply say, if you think too much about negative stuff, negative things will happen to you, and out of nowhere, it gets taken as a philosophical take. It isn't, but okay. If that helps you to understand my point, yeah, it is philosophy too, I guess. But yeah, um, you are what? You're funny. Ah, okay. You're funny. I guess I don't know. I barely make that many songs. Certainly, I haven't tried even to be better in that sense. Some to some degree, I have noticed. Uh, yes, sir. Noticed. I have realized that is the way to say it. That there is a certain lack of comedy, so I have been trying to make it be a more common thing. Because, funnily enough, you remember better stuff that makes you laugh than stuff that is completely irrelevant to you. So, I, it might be intentional, but yeah, thank you. What did I just say? I maybe have deflected too much. Thank you for the compliment. I hope you can enjoy the funny stuff that happens. Thank you. Yeah, you are very funny too, Danaus. I don't know. Uh, what we have been talking for the last 15 minutes? I am already with fever, and I didn't notice. Okay. I I I will have to take my temperature. Give me a second, please. Uy, love Argentina. What? Where you are from? You know, your people in general, in plural, loves Argentina and Spain proper. I, I still don't know what is Spain proper, but I, 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 I certain. I mean, I don't know what. If you are trying to make me guess, I love you, and I can guess with that. It is like telling me, yeah. Or if I were to tell you, and you know what? From where I am, when we look at the sky, it is blue. Um, there are too many places like that. Uh, uh, my brother, I love you. I can't guess. I mean, any other world, no, any other country from the world that might not be Argentina or Spain. You might even be from Argentina after all. We certainly love ourselves quite a lot. It is something very well known. But I, I don't know. You are from a country that exists on planet Earth. That is my best guess. I know I am right. Thank you for playing with me. I, I don't know, brother. More details like, oh yeah, we have a star in our flag. If you really want me to guess, if not, there is no chance. Like Catalonia. Ah, no. Uh, but anyways, yeah. I don't know. I am indeed with fever. I am indeed with fever. That is what I know. Oh my god. At the very least, I took my meds. Okay. Catalonia, no. So you say that you like Spain, huh? But you don't know about this country? Aha. I see you're a fake fan, eh? There it is, Catalonia. I think it is like a. It isn't a country. Brother, what are you talking about? I am pretty sure it is a country. Let me check. Cataluña. Ah, es una comunidad. Yeah. Uh, it's just a community. Yeah, 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 yeah. I might have made a fumble there. Yeah. Uh, Catalonia. Catalonia is in English. I know you said Catalonia. Catalonia? What? Catalonia? Catalonia? Not Catalonia? Catalonia? I guess. I. Catalonia? I truly corrected you thinking that it was wrong. Catalonia. Amazing. What a nice way to say Catalonia. Catalonia. Catalonia la grande. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Catalonia isn't independent. It is like a. It is like. We're getting too much into geopolitics, but it is like you have in Argentina, Ciudad Autónoma de Buenos Aires. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It is an autonomous province, basically, or an autonomous state. It is like a subdependency or something like that. I don't even remember what is the proper classification for those. They are counted like if they were from the outside, but at the same time not from the outside. I don't. They are weird. They aren't really part of the state, but at the same time they are. They have their own governors and all of that. So I don't know. I know that Catalonia simply wants to be not part of Spain anymore. And I was pretty sure it was a country already. It seems I am wrong there. Uh, so, anyways, that was my guess. Thank you for your patience. So yeah. Anyways, I don't know. Ay, any other guesses, my brother? You're not giving me any details at all. You know what? You want me to guess? We can play this game. Uh, there are 193 countries, removing Argentina and in and Spain and Catalonia, which isn't a country. But, anyways, here we go. Uh, hear me. You might be Danaos from Afghanistan, Albania, no, wait. This is in Spanish. Ah, no, okay. This is in English. Okay. Algeria, Andorra, Angola, Antigua and Barbuda, Argentina, Armenia, Australia, Austria, Azerbaiyán, The Bahamas, Bahrein, Bangladesh, Barbados, Belarus, Belgium, Belice, Benin, Bután, 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 Bolivia, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Botswana, Brasil, Brunei, Bulgaria, Burkina Faso, Burundi, Cabo Verde, Cambodia, Camerún, Canadá, Central African Republic, Chad, Chile, China, Colombia, Congo. Ah, the Democratic Republic of the Congo o the Republic of the Congo. Costa Rica. Côte de l'Over. No, I don't know French. Eh, that country. Eh, Croatia, Cuba, Cyprus, Czech Republic, Denmark, Djibouti. What? Djibouti? What? Dominica? Dominican Republic, East Timor, Timor-Leste, Ecuador, Egypt, El Salvador, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Estonia, Eswatini, Etiopía, Fiji, Finland, France, Gabon, The Gambia, Georgia, Germany, Ghana, Greece, Grenada, Granada, Guatemala, Guinea, Guinea-Bissau, Guyana, Haití, Honduras, Hungary, Hungría, Iceland, India, Indonesia, Irán, Irak, Ireland, Israel, Italy, Jamaica, Japón, Jordan, Kazajistán, Kenia, Kiribati, North Korea, South Korea, Kosovo, Kuwait, Kirguistán, Laos, Latvia, Lebanon, Lesoto, Liberia, Libia, Liechtenstein, Lituania, Luxemburg, Madagascar, Malawi, Malaysia, Maldives, Mali, Malta, Marshall Islands, Mauritania, Mauritius, Mexico. Are you from Mexico? Sorry, no. Federated States of Micronesia, Moldova, Mónaco, Mongolia, Montenegro, Morocco, Mozambique, Myanmar, Namibia, Nauru, Nepal, Netherlands, New Zealand, Nicaragua, ajá, any of these two, eh, North Macedonia, Norway, Oman, Pakistan, Palau, Panamá, Papúa Nueva Guinea, no, Papúa New Guinea, Paraguay, Perú, no, Perú, Philippines, Poland, Portugal, Qatar, Romania, Rusia, with two S, Rusia, Ruanda, Saint Kitts and Nevis, Saint Lucia, Saint Vincent and the Grenadines, Samoa, San Marino, San Tom and Príncipe, Saudi Arabia, Senegal, Serbia, Seychelles, Sierra León, Singapur, Eslovaquia, Eslovenia, Solomon Islands, Somalia, South Africa, Spain, Sri Lanka, Sudán, South Sudan, Surinam, Sweden, Switzerland, Siria, Taiwán, Tajikistán, Tanzania, Tailandia, Togo, Tonga, Trinidad y Tobago, Tunisia, Turquía, Turkmenistán, Tuvalu, Uganda, Ukraine, United Arab Emirates, United Kingdom, United States, Uruguay, Uzbekistán, Vanuatu, Vatican City, Venezuela, Vietnam, Yemen, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. You are from one of those. I know it. Thank you. Uh, so yeah, I know that you are there. One of those is your country. Now it is your obligation to tell me which one of them. Thank you. Which one? I don't know, but I know that you are from one of those. Certainly. I I okay, please, please. I mean, I don't, I don't like to be made into this. I hate to guess, but at the very same time, it what? That's not a clue. That's like a. You already told me which one is it. Uh, that's not how clues work. Like it is unfair. Uh, this is so sad. I wanted to guess like, oh yeah, that house is going to give me the clue of this is the country from where most philosophers come from. Wow. And I am going to say then, wow, are you from Greece? Amazing. Now, I am going to give you a clue. It's Greece. Mwah, mwah. Okay, I guess you are from Greece. Thank you. Now I know you're from Greece. Uh, but yeah, thanks. So yeah, that's the end of our game today. Now we know where Thanos is from. Sorry about that. No problem. I mean, you played yourself there, certainly. I might have been wrong. I don't really know where are the philosophers from. I just suppose that they were from Greece. No way. They are from Greece. Most of them, no. They are from Rome, and Rome is in South Greece. Yeah, I am not wrong. So, uh, big L, as they will say. Anyways, thank you. Thank you for playing with me. I don't know. I haven't tried to fight the fever as best as I could, but it is beating me so hard. The reason I wasn't we proper is because we share so many common values with the Latin people, like same civilization. What? What do you mean? Civilization? What? S- what? What does civilization mean? Don't you mean culture or roots? Greco-Roman civilization. You know what I mean? Ah, yeah. Yeah. Roots. No, I we will have used civilization in a different context. Like I think at some point civilization stopped being used by what you try to refer. But yeah, I get what you mean. I get it. Uh, I mean, but kind of Spanish people didn't really have that many similarities to the Greco-Roman ones. They were more on the side of the Romans, and even then they were very different because they were a lot more into what's the name? Their their political arrangements of kings and queens and all of the stuff that came with that. The the Greeks had the Roman Empire, and they had their Roman Emperor, who was like the main figure, and all of that. He wasn't really that contested, even if there were wars. And I mean, even then, Argentina is also incredibly different. But I get what you mean. I shouldn't be contesting your point. I get what you mean. But yeah, I will say there is quite a lot to like from Greece. After all, it is quite an interesting place, and it is quite a wonderful one. After all, once again, as I said before, that is where most of the philosophy that even nowadays is discussed came from. So certainly interesting, and well, they also have quite a lot of accomplishments with the I think it is the Roman pavement or something like that. The mix that was only found in the Roman Empire, that was some years ago found out finally about how they made concrete and all of that. That was also quite amazing. And yeah, uh, I don't know what you said though. Argentina quite certainly failed in that sense. Yeah, yeah, it's an attempted compliment, but Argentina failed quite horribly. There is no proper country here that imitates Spain. I guess I don't know if we're talking about nowadays. This is too much geopolitics, but El Salvador might as well be something closer to what was Spain on its glory days, and it still is an incredibly poor country, nonetheless. So I don't know, but Argentina has certainly failed to be anything minimally resembling Spain in any kind of way. I mean, Spain isn't even a republic. Argentina is a republic, so I don't know. Uh, yeah, I get what you mean. I get what you mean. Still, I what a nice thing to be alive. I guess I don't know. But yeah, that's the point. That what's the point? That Argentina is quite a nice place. What? No, that isn't the point. The point is there is no point. I am just trying to make one. Uh, oh yeah, the fever is killing me. That is the point. I I can barely feel my limbs. Yeah, maybe too much information, but yeah, basically that. I at the very least I didn't have that. How much? I had like 41 already, but I already took my meds, so it should be yeah 41 in Celsius, 41 uh, centigrades. Yeah. That's the average for me when I get fever. That's why I also get quite a lot of. No. You shouldn't need to go to the hospital until you have like 43. When you have 41, you are simply a little bit hot, and you might have some feverish, what is it, hallucinations. And so far, I think I didn't have them. I just have had some problems focusing. But I already took my medicine, so there is no problem whatsoever, I feel like. So, basically, that. We are completely fine, don't worry. Yeah, basically, me. I am on fire right now. Not even that, because I don't feel the hotness. You don't feel it when you are so much in such a fever uh, state, a feverish moment of complete craziness. I guess I know. But yeah, basically that. Uh, I don't know. I certainly don't know. Anyways, here we are. Continue. How much I had when here? Perhaps it is time for me to retire. I know that with the medicine I will probably fall asleep in like 1 hour or so. So if I can get into my bed now, I will sleep like a baby, as they will say. So perhaps it is the moment for that to happen. Perhaps not. I don't know. Let me see. Yeah, I also can feel how the medicine is starting to make me have even more of a struggle focusing. So I love it here, but I don't want to pass out in front of the PC. I already did the other day, and it wasn't a pleasurable experience. So uh, let me live like a proper human being instead of completely sleeping by, as they will say. So yeah, uh, I guess rounding up. today. It was quite a wonderful day. We did an incredibly huge amount of things. We do. I talked more than what I ever expected. I being sick and all of that. I didn't even expect, like it is happening now, to not even feel my throat. In a sense of, I thought it was going to be destroyed or something like that. But so far it is going well. Also, Beryl isn't alive? What happened? Somebody killed Beryl? What? What? Beryl? Beryl isn't alive? What happened to Beryl? What? Wait. When was the last time Beryl was alive? What? Beryl? I can't even find his channel. What? Beryl. Ah, he changed it to Beryl Vero. Yeah. Beryl Vero. What happened to Beryl? What? Give a second, give a second. I'm literally looking for something. I perhaps I should have done it after ending stream. Perhaps he was live yesterday. Ah, okay, everything is fine. Life is okay. As they will say, Beryl is alive. The battle continues. Anyways, let me find somebody to raid. No, for real, thank you. Uh, oh my god, it's so hard to make a proper sentence. Yeah, I am medicine. Take your medicine. I guess. I don't know. People, thanks for everything. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for lurking. It has been my utmost pleasure being here. I don't. We talk about too many things. But yeah, we finished in a very good, cheerful note. So with that, I am content. Thanks for all, people. Thanks for every single thing. Keep yourself safe. Keep yourself healthy. Try to not get any kind of cold. It is certainly quite horrible. And yeah, uh, until the next opportunity. Yeah, I will. I have been hydrating throughout the duration of this short stream, so I will keep doing that when I wake up. Right now, I am I am going to bed. As they will say, I am so cooked. Anyways, uh, there it is. Now we're going to leave. We're going to raid because I can't not raid. Thanks for everything, people. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for looking. It has been my utmost pleasure as always. So, anyways, most important thing, most pri prior no what's precious no I don't know English. I am ESL. Something important, more important than what I was saying before. Here, something of a bigger importance. That's the word. No, but keep yourself safe. And even if we don't get to see each other again, thanks for everything. And remember to be happy. So yeah. Anyways, something more important, more pressing even. People, we are leaving, and where we are going is to Cashew BT, who is right now. Who is sleeping? Incredible. This is quality content. We are going to watch what he plays on the background while he sleeps. So yeah, thanks, people. Have a good one. That's it for me. I am fading away. Goodbye. I, you want a secret message? You want something hidden, something else for me to say? The fever is fucking killing me. I can feel it. I will very soon start to have some beautiful feverish hallucinations. So yeah,